Anthony Davis said something that was really comical. And I'm going to tell you what it was and why it's laughable he feels this way. Anthony Davis came out and said, with effort on defense, Los Angeles Lakers could beat any team in the NBA. Now, mind you, the Lakers are already ranked 4th in defensive rating out of 30 teams in the NBA. They just came off of, before a couple nights ago, they were on a 4-game losing streak. So it's either one of two things. A, you guys didn't show any effort in that 4-game losing streak. Or B, even with defensive effort, you can't beat any team in the NBA. I'm leaning more towards B. And this is why. All of a sudden, since Anthony Davis came to LA, he has such a newfound confidence, a profound confidence, his ability, his team, none of which he expressed when he was in New Orleans. When he was in New Orleans, it was he didn't have any help. They swept the Portland Trailblazers. They ran into Golden State. Mind you, Steph didn't play, I think, the first 2 games because he was coming off injury. And it was still, we need help, can't do this and that. I don't think it was last year. It was the year before last. All of a sudden, Davis has this newfound confidence. He walks around with his chest puffed out, and I'm thinking to myself, is this the same Anthony Davis in New Orleans that we've seen? Because offensively, defensively, player on the court, we're seeing the same kind of AD. Maybe slightly a little bit better because he's getting the ball fed to him a little bit more. However, the attitude has shifted, and it seems to have ballooned his ego to a point for them to think that defensively, if they just show effort on defense, that they could win any game. The team is ranked 4th in defense, and they lost 4 in a row before a couple nights ago. So, no, it's not necessarily an effort on defense because already the Lakers have shown a high, consistent effort on defense. In my opinion, with the Lakers, defense isn't really the problem. They have bigs that could block out. They have wings that are athletic and long. The problem with the Lakers is offensively. Now, they're ranked 6th offensively. You'll say, well, they have no problems offensively. They have a lot of issues offensively. And for Davis to make such a bold claim this early into the process, it just shows how the bright lights in the big city of Los Angeles, that gets to your mind, that gets to your psyche. It's not the fact that he has all this confidence because he's AD. Like, remember Kevin Durant told everybody last year, I'm Kevin Durant. Why would I worry about anything? It's not like he's saying, I'm Anthony Davis. Why would I worry about anything? He's only saying this because he feels like I got a crew. So if we just show up and show some effort, we're not going to lose any games, especially on defense. When in all reality, Lakers need defense just to stay in the games. If you look at the way the Lakers play, they play a throwback style of basketball, pound the post, pound the ball inside. They are not a great three-point shooting team. So when it comes to the playoffs, the Lakers are going to need defense just to stay in it. They're going to need to play defense just to stay in those games. Because offensively, LeBron is not a great three-point shooter. AD can hit a 3 here and there, but he's not the most consistent three-point shooter. Caldwell Pope has improved his shooting percentage, but he's up and down. And Danny Green also, he's the most consistent three-point shooter on the team. Even last year in the playoffs for Toronto, he really didn't erupt until maybe the 3rd game into playing Golden State. So at times he goes through his slumps and stuff like that. They don't have a Ray Allen on their team. They don't have a Klay Thompson on their team. They don't have a Steph Curry on their team. They don't have anybody that could, Kyle Korver, anybody that you can consistently put on the court and you cannot leave him. They don't have that. So while they feel like defensively they could hang in with anybody, offensively they can't. Especially if LeBron doesn't have it going. You saw against the Clippers, and that's their main competition. If LeBron doesn't have it going offensively, their team is in trouble. Because AD is not going to cut. Even if he's giving you 27 and 10, if LeBron doesn't have it going, nothing else is going to cut it. Because you saw that both times he played in Clippers, And during that 4-game losing streak, for some reason, he just couldn't get it going, and the team struggled. So for AD, feel like just effort on defense is that alone is gonna win them games. That's not the case. If Dallas got hot during that game the other night, then that game would have probably ended 120, 117. Dallas or LA 50-50 chance. And that's what I'm saying. They need their defense just to be in the games. Having LeBron James is not enough due to the simple fact that he's not his young, spry self. Just turned 35. Happy birthday to the king, of course. But here's the thing. Offensively, they face some challenges. And if they don't get those challenges together, to me, to be a contender, you need to be top 10 offense, top 10 defense. They're both in those categories. Pace-wise, they're a little less than average. They're about average in terms of pace. So if you're average in pace and you're going to be playing in playoffs against teams like the Clippers who are trying to get up and down, if you make it out of the Western Conference, you go to Eastern Conference, you might face the Bucks or the Celtics or whomever, young guys that like to run. And the scoring is going to go higher and higher and higher. That's going to be a problem for the Lakers, who rank 10th in points per game. They're just scraping the top 10 in scoring per game. So, honestly, defense, they just need defense to even be in a game. They need to really figure out their offense. Offensively, they need to get a third guy that will consistently give them 15 to 20 points. They need a Jason Terry. They need a Vinny the Microwave Johnson. They need a Lou Williams. Right now, Caruso, Kyle Kuzma, Danny Green, we don't see who's going to be the consistent third guy. While Kuzma's been having a great stretch, there hasn't been any consistency in a third guy that's going to come through and step up and give you consistent points. So while defense does win championships, they're going to need to figure out a way to score. Options that are automatic. Out of the triangle, whether it's the motion offense that the Spurs and the Warriors run, they need to figure something out that's automatic. So when LeBron James is not going, he can't get it going from the outside, stuff like that. You have other options, other guys that you can plug and play and that can score. And that's the calling card of any championship team. From the Los Angeles Lakers of early in the decade, they have people like Glenn Rice, Rick Fox, the 08 Celtics, Eddie House, Posey, the Lakers in 09-10. You have people like Jordan Farmer or Shannon Brown, guys that can get you 10 points, 8 points. The Warriors in their whole throughout run, they had Barbosa, Andre Iguodala. Like you have to have guys that's that third guy that's gonna get you buckets, get you some buckets or make plays for you. Lakers haven't figured that out. They're still a 1-2 punch, and everybody's trying to figure out what's in the Kool-Aid, so to speak. Punch, Kool-Aid, whatever. Anyway, but that's gonna be the underlying. That's gonna be everything for them. They need to figure out who's gonna be the third scorer offensively, because defensively they just need defense to even be in games. If they don't engage defensively, they'll most likely lose 60-70% of their games. While there are some championship teams in the past, you've seen this, where they're not really great on defense the whole game, but once they lock in for like 2 minutes and along with the offense, they go on, like Golden State, they cannot play defense great all game. They lock in a little bit, get a couple threes, game's over. Spurs, they cannot be great defensively the whole game. They get a couple stops, they run their offense, automatic options, same thing, they win. So that's the thing. The Bulls in the 90s, they could lock in when they needed to. With the Lakers, they can't have any lapse in defense ever. If they do, the 10-point lead will go to a tie game to their down 10. So defense it's an automatic given. Their offense is what they really need to figure out. They need to figure that out fast, because relying on LeBron and AD to do everything, especially when it's playoff time, they're going to shrink the floor on your ass. And once they do that, who's going to be the guy to step up and give you consistent buckets? Who? Hoops Junction, where Hoops meets Hoopla. Like, comment, subscribe.